The sun beat down on the golden city of Babylon, where tall towers sparkled in the light and the streets buzzed with people from many nations. Soldiers marched proudly, music rang out with trumpets and drums, and banners of the great King Nebuchadnezzar waved in the wind. In the middle of the city square stood something enormous, an image made of pure gold, taller than a house and gleaming so brightly that people shielded their eyes. The king had commanded everyone in Babylon to bow down and worship it whenever the music played. Crowds gathered nervously, waiting for the sound of the horns. Among them were 3 young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were servants of God, faithful and strong. Their eyes looked up at the golden statue, but their hearts looked higher, to the God of heaven. Suddenly, the horns blasted. Trumpets blared, harps strummed, and drums pounded. As the music filled the air, the people dropped to their knees. Thousands bowed low before the golden image. All except 3. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood tall, their heads lifted high, their hands clasped in prayer. The crowd gasped. Whispers rushed through the people like wind through the trees. They did not bow. The king will hear of this. And indeed, word reached King Nebuchadnezzar quickly. His face turned red with anger. "Bring them to me," he thundered. The 3 young men were dragged before the king, but they did not tremble. The golden statue glittered behind him, and the king's voice roared like a storm. "Is it true," he demanded, "that you refuse to bow down to my image? I will give you one more chance. When the music plays again, if you bow, all will be well. But if you do not, you will be thrown into the fiery furnace." The crowd held its breath. The fire crackled in the furnace nearby, flames leaping high, smoke rising dark into the sky. Everyone waited for the young men's answer. With calm and steady voices, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, "O king, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. Our God is able to save us from the fiery furnace. But even if he does not, we will never serve your gods or bow down to your golden image." The king's eyes blazed hotter than the furnace itself. "Make the fire 7 times hotter," he roared. Soldiers rushed to heap more wood and coal into the furnace. The flames roared so fiercely that the ground trembled with heat. The 3 young men were tied with ropes and dragged to the furnace. The soldiers pushed them forward, but the flames were so hot that even the soldiers fell down, overcome by the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego tumbled into the blazing furnace. The crowd gasped. Mothers covered their children's eyes. The king leaned forward, a cruel smile on his lips. Surely no one could survive such heat. But then, something amazing happened. The fire roared, but the 3 young men stood inside, unharmed. Their robes burned away, but not a hair on their heads was singed. Their clothes did not even smell of smoke. And most astonishing of all, there was a 4th figure in the fire, glowing bright and radiant, walking beside them. The king's jaw dropped. He leapt to his feet and shouted, "Didn't we throw 3 men into the fire? Look, I see 4 men walking free in the flames, and the 4th looks like a son of God." The crowd murmured in awe, their eyes wide with wonder. The fire that should have destroyed them had become a place of God's miracle. The king rushed to the furnace and cried out, "Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out." And they did. Slowly, calmly, the 3 young men stepped out of the blazing furnace. The people stared, stunned. Not a scorch mark, not a burn, not even the faint smell of smoke touched them. Nebuchadnezzar's voice shook as he declared, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. No other God can save like this." From that day on, the people of Babylon knew there was a greater king than any on earth, the King of heaven, who saves his children and walks with them even in the fire. Well then, children, this story teaches us that we can be brave, even when it's hard, because God is always with us. Just like he protected Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, he will never leave you alone, no matter what you face.